Well, good morning. That was rather exciting. Good morning, Woodland Pond. I'm Deborah. Welcome to yoga. Please keep in mind one important fact. Everything I say is a suggestion, not a demand. So if you have arthritis, an injury, surgery, or you're just tired, and I suggest something that's inappropriate for you, skip it, take a breather, rejoin us when you're ready. All righty, so here we are this morning. Let's get started. You can start standing up. You can start sitting on the floor. You can start sitting in a chair. If you're in a chair, move your butt forward. Put your feet flat on the floor, looking like the number 11, hip width apart. Good. Now let's all roll our pelvis forward so we come up onto our sits bones, those little knuckles at the bottom of your pelvis. Pull your abs in and up. Lift your breastbone, ask your shoulders to go back and down, and then lift the back of your head. Let's close our eyes and take inventory. How are you doing today? How's your breathing? How's your skin? How's your mood? Check around. And opening our eyes, we can extend our arms, inhale up. And then 2 fountain breaths. Keeping your elbows together as much as you can for as long as you can. Good. So let's say good morning to one of our shoulders. The largest forward circle you're capable of making. And just notice if you have flat spots and then go backwards. Good. Release that and say good morning to your other shoulder. We don't want it to feel left out. And go backwards. Good. Release that. Give everybody a little loosening wiggle. Let's push away our infernal wall. You're really pushing right from the middle of your back. Your elbows are straight. Your fingers are as far apart as they'll go. Then make a soft fist pointed at the floor. Good. Go back to that infernal wall. Get away from here. Then index finger to thumb and squeeze. Second, third, and fourth. Backwards, fourth, third, second, and first. Good. Release it. Loosen up everything with a little wiggle. Take a breath. And let's play those piano scales. Every little digit gets an opportunity to flex and stretch. Then palms up and let your hands gently flop. This is a little bitty stretch for the inside of your wrist. The ghost is trying to get in. Good morning. Welcome. All righty then. Okay, so let's start with some cat and cow stretches, and we'll open and close our vertebra. So your head comes forward, your belly goes backwards as you exhale. As you inhale, lift your breastbone, look up, and then exhale down. Inhale up. And you just go back and forth at your own pace. As we open and close the discs between our vertebrae, we're rehydrating them. And they tend to dry out with age. So rehydration is very important. And when you've had enough of that, come back to center, give everything a nice loosening wiggle. Let's bring our arms straight out from our shoulders, left and right, bend your elbows and have your palms face forward. Good. Now allow one hand to come down, then the other one comes down. You can do this one at a time, or you can do them simultaneously. It's up to you. The important part is keeping your elbows up at shoulder level. We're strengthening all of those muscles in and around your shoulders and your upper back. Good. Let's release that. Let's bring one arm up, bend that elbow, rest that hand on your back. Take your other arm, push that elbow toward the ceiling, any amount, whatever you can accommodate is fine. Good. Release it. Take the other arm up, bend the elbow, allow that hand to rest on your back. Take the other hand, push that elbow toward the ceiling. Whatever you can accommodate is good. Breathe into it. Good. Relax that. Let everything go. Take a nice deep breath. Good. All righty. Let's look over your right shoulder. Come back to center. Let's look over our left shoulder. And come back to center. Good. All righty then. Let's go into the pulling position. So you can make hooks out of your hands, put your two hooks together, or if you don't like that, you can grab your opposing wrist and pull. Keep a good sustained pressure as you breathe. Once again, we're strengthening your shoulders. Good. Release that. We're going into the pushing position. You can either put your palms together, or if you have wrist issues, just put your knuckles together and push. Good sustained pressure. Breathing, don't hold your breath. Many of us are tempted to do that, but good. Release that. Let's go back into the pulling position and pull. Good. Release that. We're going to do the pushing position one more time and push. Good. Release that. Let that go. Take a breath. Good. Let's see. Let's do some side stretches. So your left hand goes down onto the mat or the chair. Stretch up tall with your right arm. Lean into your left hand and reach left. Breathe into it. Feel those little intercostal muscles up and down your rib cage begin to open. Good. Come back to center. Right arm down, left arm reaching for the ceiling. Lean into your right hand as you reach to the right. Make sure you're looking at the wall, not the floor, and breathing. All right, come back to center. Give everything a loosening wiggle. Put your left arm down, your right arm reaching for the ceiling. Reach to the left and breathe. It should feel a little bit easier on the second go around. Good. Come back to center. Right arm down, left arm reaching up, leaning onto your right arm and breathing. Good. Give everything a loosening wiggle. Let that work and effort go. Take a nice breath. All righty. So let's see. Let's do a quick neck sequence. So using your nose as a pointer, draw a figure 8 on its side. Stop and go backwards. Good morning, neck. Time to wake up and get busy. Good. Come back to center. Make sure your breastbone is lifted, your abs are engaged, and allow your chin to approach your chest without letting your chest sink. When you get where your chin is as low as it's going to go, just stop. Breathe encouragement into those big muscles across the top of your shoulders and breathe. And sure enough, your chin will go a wee bit lower. Roll your right ear to the right. Your right ear is looking at your right shoulder. You're looking at the wall, and you can feel your muscles up and down the left side of your neck begin to open. Not a slow and gentle yes. When you're ready, roll your chin to the middle and over to the left. So now your left ear is looking at your left shoulder. You're feeling the opening on your right side. You're breathing, you're looking at the wall. Not a slow yes. When you're ready, roll your chin to the middle, over to the right, back to the middle and over to the left, in a very slow and gentle action. We always want to be very considerate of our necks. When you've had enough, you simply come back to center, take a nice deep breath. Good. All right. So we're going to do the seated spinal twist. If you're in a chair, leave your lower body alone. It's fine. If you're on the floor, you want to stretch out your legs, right foot over left, left arm to right knee. Everybody sit up straight and tall, pivot to your right. Use your hands on the floor or your chair to help you pivot, and breathe. Engage your abs to support your abdominal viscera and your back. Keep your breastbone lifted. And we should now be warmed up enough. Let's twist back a little bit deeper and release it. Come back to center, give everything a good wiggling out. If you're on the floor, it's left leg over right, right arm to left knee. Everybody sit up straight and tall, pivot to your left. Once again, do use your hands as you need to. Keep your chest lifted, your abs engaged, and breathing. And then we can twist back a little bit deeper. And release it. Good. Give everything a good loosening up. Take a breath because we're about to do the frog. Since last time I did the frog from a seated position, today I'm going to do it from a standing position. If you do the frog from a standing position, make sure both feet are on the mat. If you're sitting in a chair, sit on the leading edge of the chair with your feet wide apart, your hands resting on your knees. We want the stretch to come out of our hips, so keep your head and chest up as you lean forward. That'll give you a nice flat back. When your hips say, whoa, I don't want to do this, stop. Breathe encouragement into your hips. Let them know that nothing awful is going to happen. And sooner or later, you'll begin to get a little bit lower. If you can put your palms on the floor comfortably, you can release your neck. If you cannot get your palms on the floor, don't worry about it. Leave them on your knees. That's where it's safest. And keep breathing. And of course, stay as long as you like. But if you have reached your limit, Simply pick up your head and chest and return to vertical, and let's stand up. Give everything a good shaking out, a loosening wiggle, whatever works. Good. Let's see. We did Warrior 2 last time, so the obvious thing is to do Warrior 3 today, but we'll start in Tadasana. We want to put our feet parallel to one another, hip width apart. Feel the floor. Good. Let's make sure that each quadrant of our foot is doing its fair share of holding us up. And then pull ourselves up through our legs. Tuck your pelvis a tiny amount. Pull your abs in and up as you lift your breastbone. Lift the back of your head and neck and breathe. The mountain posture, your posture of strength, where you can feed and cleanse your body, where you support your immune system. This is an excellent place to be. When you're ready, bring your arms out, interlace your fingers, notice which one's on top, reverse, stretch, bring your hands behind your back, interlace, send them as low as they'll go, and lift into chest expansion. Feel those pectoral muscles begin to open. Good. Release that. Bring your arms out again. This time, interlace with the other finger on top, reverse, stretch, and lift. Excellent. Let that go. Good. So now we're going to do Warrior 3. So we need our chairs. We want to put our chairs where they will not slide. So you can either put all 4 feet on your mat, or you can park your chair against the wall, either way. So now we're going to put our hands on our chair and simply walk backwards. Our head comes down between our arms. And this is downward facing dog, a variation. You can get a lovely back stretch, wiggle your feet backwards 1 millimeter or 2 and extend your back. If you want to do Warrior 3, simply pick up your right leg and send it out behind you at hip height. Don't let your right hip wig out to the right. Keep it facing the floor. And breathe. You should be shooting energy through your arms and out through your hands as you're shooting energy down your right leg and out behind you. And of course, you need to breathe to feed and cleanse your body. When you've been here as long as you want to be here, put your foot down and walk forward. You'll come right back to vertical. All right, you cannot use a walker for this. You need to come around behind your chair. Use your chair, because I don't want that to roll away from you. Okay, sorry about that. All righty, now we're going to walk backwards once again, or if you're tired, take a breather. When you get back here, once again, wiggle your fingers. Once again, you can stay here in downward facing dog, or you can pick up your left leg. Breathe into it. Don't let your left hip roll to the left. Keep your left hip facing the floor. As usual, stay as long as you like. If you're ready to come out of it, put your foot on the floor and walk forward. Come back to vertical. Give everything a good loosening up. Take a breath. Good. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is our inversion. we want to take an opportunity to get our heads below our hearts. So put your feet back into Tadasana, and you don't want your chair right in front of you because you're going to be bending forward. You might want to have it on the side though, so that you can keep a hand on it if you're feeling fragile. Okay, when you're ready, inhale up. Exhale down, bend forward, stretch forward out of your pelvis, and then relax your back and hang upside down. Now keep doing this. I'm going to stand up so I can see what's going on. Looking good. All righty. Twist to the right. Take hold of whatever part of your anatomy is over there. Doesn't matter what it is. Just take hold and breathe. Notice how the stretch is different over here. Come back to center, twist to the left. Take hold of whatever you find over there. Keep breathing encouragement into all the stretching muscles. Let them know that everything's okay. And it's okay for them to open. When you're ready, come back to center. Put your hands on your thighs. Come up to a flat back and stand up. Give everything a loosening wiggle. Shake out your legs or give them a nice pat down, whatever you like to do. Take a breath. Good. All right, so let's do something nice for our shoulders. We're going to do the eagle. And we're going to do the eagle sitting down so we can do the entire eagle all at the same time. So we need our chairs. You're going to sit as we always do in the front edge of the chair. Take your right leg, cross it over your left leg. See if you can get your right toes to sneak around behind your left leg. Some people can do this like that. Other people, it'll never happen. Whichever group you fall into, do your best, leave it at that. And then swing your arms a bit. Beware the chair's arms. Then it's one elbow under the other. If you cannot bring your palms together, rest your hands on your shoulders. There you go. All righty. Now breathe into the stretch across your shoulders. When you're ready, raise your elbows. And then you can push your hands away from your face. If you want, you can move your elbows to the right, head to the left. And vice versa. Then come back to center, unpretzel, let them swing, and unclasp your legs. Good. So for the second half, the left leg comes over the right, and then see if you can sneak your left toes around behind your right leg. And again, you may find not only can some people do it and some people not, but sometimes you can do it on one side, but not the other. So don't worry about it. Okay, sit up nice and straight and tall. And it's the other elbow on top this time, whatever that means for you. Breathe into the stretch on your shoulders. And when you're ready, raise your elbows. Notice how that changes the way the stretch feels. And then you can push your hands away from your face. You can stay still, or you can shift your arms to the right, face to the left, and vice versa. Come back to center, unpretzel, let your legs come apart. Yeah, let everything wiggle, take a breath. Ah, very good, very good. Okay, let's stand up again. We're going to do our little circle business. So lay out a circle for yourself on the floor. It's about 3 or 4 feet in diameter. Turn to the right and walk around your little circle, taking the largest steps you can comfortably take. When you get to the beginning again, go backwards. Beware of furniture and people. When you come to the beginning again, turn around and walk forward. When you get to the beginning, go backwards. Good. When you've gotten back to the beginning, just give everything a little wiggle so that everything knows it's done. So now we're going to do Bernice's favorite move. So once again, we need our chair. We want the tallest part of our chair available for our left hand, because we're going to step forward with our left foot, left hand on the chair. If you don't like the chair, put your hands on your hips. Make sure that your hips are facing forward the same way as your left toes. Your right knee is straight. And then bring your right arm up, look up, sweep it down, straightening your left knee, bending your right knee, and then come back up. And just make a slow and graceful arc at your own pace. This is an excellent move for stirring your balance canals. And we like a well-stirred canal. This works very nicely as a preventive for vertigo. When you've had enough of this, simply bring your arm down, step forward onto your left leg, shake out your legs, give everything a loosening wiggle, take a breath. Because we're going to turn around, look in the opposite direction so we can put our right hand on the chair. Step forward with your right leg. Your right knee is bent over your right foot. Your left leg is straight. Your hips should be lined up facing the same direction as your right toes. Bring your left arm up, look up. Bring it down, straightening your right knee, bending your left knee, and bowing. Getting the top of your head, or at least your forehead, pointed at the floor is a good thing, because that helps us stir those canals. When you've had enough, you simply come back to vertical, step forward, and shake out your legs. Give everything a loosening up. Take a breath. Okay, so let's see, what else would we like to do? Let's do, okay, so just put your feet where they're comfy, bend one knee, bend the other knee, and go back and forth with a nice little hip switch. All righty, let's bring one arm up for a grand central wave. Let's let the other arm take over the job. Good, let's do both arms together. Okay, last item of the day is stick your foot out. Bend that knee over that foot. Draw a circle with that knee over that foot. Lean into it as much as you wish. Feel the bottom of the foot with the bent knee. You're giving that foot a nice little massage. Go backwards with your circle. If you do this when you're bare feet on a hard floor, you get a much better massage. And it's a nice way of reinvigorating your foot. Good. Now step out with your other foot. Draw a circle with that knee over that foot, leaning into it as much as you want. Feel the bottom of that foot, get its massage, go backwards. We should definitely always be kind to our feet. They do so much for us. Good. All righty, let that go. Shake that off. Take a nice breath. Okay, well, that's it for the first half hour. We're about to get down on the floor. So for all of you who do not get down on the floor, I wish you an excellent day. Keep in mind, next week, I am not going to be physically here. I'm going to be elsewhere. So all 3 classes next week will be video only. So you'll be practicing via video in your own homes, not here next week. I will be here Friday live in the pack, but not next week. So enjoy a lovely week. Namaste. Thank you.
Not have them run it here also because some of us don't have television.
I can do that. All righty then. So to begin the second half of the class, let's get into tabletop. And we'll do a few cat and cow stretches. Head down, belly up, belly down, head up. You can do these at your own pace. Good. All right. So let's lay down on our right side. Extend your right arm above your head so you can rest your head on it. Your left hand is flat on the floor. Your knees are drawn up. Let's use our top leg to ride our giant imaginary bicycle. Go backwards. Good. Now extend your leg forward. Kick forward once, back twice. Forward once, back twice. We're stretching your psoas muscle. Good. Now bring your left knee close to your face so that you can reach down with your left hand and get a good grip on your left foot. Then push your knee toward the bottom of the mat. If you have stretch to spare, push your foot and hand behind you, and that will be the half bow. You'll get a lovely quadricep stretch. Breathe into it. And if you're doing the half bow, you're also getting a stretch in the front of your left shoulder. When you're ready, release your foot, let it come down. Bring your hand back to the mat. Extend both legs straight out, and then use your abs and pick up those 2 feet together and hold them a few inches above the floor with your abs engaged and breathing. This is lovely work for your core. Then put them both down, take a breath, and let's roll over onto the other side. So this time it's your left arm extended above your head's resting on your arm, your right hand's on the mat, your knees are drawn up, and we can ride our giant imaginary bicycle with our top leg. Now go backwards. Okay, good. So extend that leg and then kick forward once, back twice, forward once, back twice, and keep doing it. Good. All right. Now bring your right knee close to your face so that you can reach down and get a good grip on your right foot. Then push your right knee toward the bottom of your mat. If you have stretch to spare, you can push your right hand and right foot behind you into the half bow. But in any case, you'll get a lovely quadricep stretch. Breathe into it. When you've had enough, release your foot, let it come down, bring your right hand down to the mat, straighten out both legs together, and then use your abs to pick them both up, hold them a few inches off the ground, and breathe. When you're done, put everything down, relax, take a nice deep breath. Let that work and effort go. Good. So let's come up to a seated position. I'm going to sit on my right cheek and my right thigh. I have both of my knees bent, so both of my feet are behind me on the left. Okay, good. So put your right palm on the floor. If you have wrist issues, you won't want to do this. You'll want to come up onto your knuckles with a fist, or you can go down onto your right elbow. Either variation will work very nicely. Bring your left arm. As it comes across your body, reach up, get up onto your knees and reach as up to the upper right-hand corner as you can. Then sit down, Then reach up, come up to your knees and sit down. Reach up, come up to your knees, and you just go back and forth. You can do this as fast or as slowly as you wish. The important part is to use your core muscles to pull your pelvis up so that you come up onto your knees. Last time, here we go. And down we go. Good. So now we simply are going to switch our legs around so that they are both on the right. Now I'm sitting on my left cheek and my left thigh. My knees are bent and both feet are on my right. Okay. Yeah, that's good, Susan. All right. So once again, you put your palm on the floor unless you don't want to do that due to your wrist, either knuckles or elbow, whichever works for you. Bring your right hand across your body, come up onto your knees as you reach to the left. Then sit down, reach and come up onto your knees and sit down, reach and sit down. This does a lovely job for a lot of your core muscles. And it increases your respiration and heart rate. What's not to like? When you've had enough of that, just sit. Bring your legs around so that you're more comfortable. Take a breather. Give everything a little loosening up. We happen to be in the correct position to do the cobbler pose. Let's put our feet into the cobbler pose. So the soles of our feet come together. Our knees end up in sort of a butterfly position. You can reach down, take hold of your toes. If you wish, you can flutter your knees a little bit. This will put a little bit of pressure on your hips to lengthen the ligaments and tendons. Don't go nuts on this. It's a gentle little movement. If you want to make it harder, pull your feet closer to your body. If you want to make it easier, push them away. Good. That's enough of that. Let's come up onto our tabletop position so that we can do a downward facing dog. So we want our hands underneath our shoulders. We want our knees underneath our hips. We should have a nice flat back. Now let's curl our toes under, lift your pelvis up to the ceiling, and then push your shoulders as close to your knees as you can do it. This will give your back a lovely stretch. It puts a lot of weight on your shoulders and strengthens your shoulders. Breathe into this work. This will also raise your blood pressure, your heart rate, and your respiration. Relax your neck. Allow the top of your head to point at the floor. There is nothing for your neck to be doing. Everybody else is working hard, but not your neck. Stay as long as you like. When you're ready to come out of it, simply touch your knees down, big toes together, knees apart, and then rest your forehead on the mat. Unless you have knee issues, sinus issues, you'll be much happier if you roll over onto your back and pull your knees up onto your chest. When you get into your resting position, take a couple of big breaths, and that'll help you relax and let go of the work you've been doing. All right, so come up again and sit in a comfortable position for a minute. We're about to do the fish. Now, the fish is an interesting posture because it gives us a gentle back bend. We do back bends all the time, the cobra, laying on our tummy on the floor and so on. But in those positions, our back bends are part of the work. This one is unusual because we're going to do the back bend in a position which will allow our muscles to relax and open. So we want something like a rolled up mat, a rolled up blanket, a book, whatever you've got. And we would like it to come here about an inch below our armpits when we lay down. So let's see if I've got, yeah, it's about the right position. Yeah, good. And then you lay down and then your head is going to come down very, very slowly because it's going to be unusually far back. I seem to have my blanket too rolled up. It's too tall, but fortunately, it's not a big deal for me. But anyway, feel free to take the time you need to make sure that your blanket, mat, or whatever you have is rolled up to a comfortable height before you lay down on it. And then breathe. Long, slow breaths to encourage the muscles of your torso to relax into the position. This is such a foreign position that your body's first reaction is going to be, oh my God, what are we doing here? And they're going to want to tighten up. So you have to be persuasive. You have to be calm as you breathe encouragement and relaxation into these muscles that are feeling scared. You've been there long enough now. Take a deep breath, see what happens. So to come out of it, this is such a peculiar position. How do we do that? Well, you simply bend. I'm going to bend my left leg. So my left foot is flat on the floor, and I'm going to use the strength of my leg to push and help me roll to the right. Rolling to the right, I can come up onto my right elbow and come out of the position quite nicely. Good. All right, so let's lay down again. Bring your knees up onto your chest and draw a circle on the ceiling with your knees together. And this will give your lower back a pleasant massage. Go backwards. Then put your feet flat on the floor. Stretch your legs out. Stretch your arms over your head. Bring your left knee up and touch it with your right hand. Put your left knee down. Bend your right knee, touch it with your left hand, put it down. Pick up your left knee, touch it with your right hand, put it down. And just keep doing that. So you're alternating legs and your alternating arms. See if you can also pull your abs in while you're doing this. Sort of a lot to think about, but as you get more accustomed to the motion, you can choose to speed it up if you wish, or you can keep going at a very slow pace. When you've had enough of that, bring your arms down. Pick up your right knee, circle it with your hands interlaced, either in front of the knee or behind the knee, whichever you prefer. Pull that knee close to your chest as you exhale. Let it rebound on the inhalation and go back and forth. The wind relieving posture. Bring up your left knee, transfer your hands to your left knee, put your right foot on the floor, let the right leg slide out straight and continue. All right, put your left foot on the floor. Put your right ankle on your left knee. Put your right hand on your right knee. Push it away, let it rebound. Push it away, etc. Now, take your right hand between your thighs, your left hand outside your left thigh. Pick up your left thigh, interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Here we are, the half pigeon. If you're not getting enough stretch in your right gluteus maximus, you can pull your left thigh closer to you. You can roll a little bit to your left, or you can extend your left leg to the ceiling. Choose any one or combination of those that might feel good and breathe into the stretch. It's really strange. If I don't do these for a couple of weeks running, my gait is a little off. And then once I do them, it smooths out my gait and everything's happy again. Now, of course, you can stay as long as you like. If you're ready to come out of it, simply release your hands and allow your left foot to come to the floor, then your right foot. Then put your left ankle on your right knee. Put your left hand on your left knee, push it away, let it rebound, etc. Good. Take your left hand between your thighs, your right hand outside your right thigh. Pick up your right thigh, interlace your hands behind it. Again, if you're not getting enough stretch in your left cheek, pull your arms closer to you, roll a wee bit to your right, or extend your right leg to the ceiling until you get the right amount of stretch for your body. And then breathe. When you've had enough of this, simply release your hands, allow your right foot to come to the floor, And then your left foot. Take a nice deep breath, because now it's time for deep relaxation. So if you have socks, sweaters, blankets, cushions, pillows, anything you might need to feel warm and comfortable while we do deep relaxation, acquire them now and arrange yourself in the most comfortable possible position on the floor. Close your eyes, take a couple of nice deep breaths, and let all that work and effort go. But notice how your body feels. Compare that with the way it felt at the beginning of the hour. Because we've just been working with the lower part of our body, the lower part of your body should be feeling pretty stimulated. Just notice. Then concentrate on letting go and sinking into the floor. So now it's time to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, make any loosening motions which might feel good. Before rolling to one side to come up to a seated position where we can put our hands together in prayer position, close our eyes, lower our heads, and give thanks for this day. And lifting our heads and opening our eyes, we can turn to one another and say, Namaste, 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 Namaste. May you have a most excellent week. Don't forget, I'm not going to be here next week, the last week of September, but I will be here in video, so you'll be practicing in your homes. Have a great week.